Hey mamas, I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with first-time moms telling me how nervous or scared they are about their approaching birth. And honestly, I don't blame them because of all the TV shows and movies that we see that really just show birth in a really scary, traumatic way. Or maybe the stories that stick with us or the horror ones. Typically, we don't remember the births where nothing eventful happens. We just remember the ones of the screaming and just the pain. And so those are the ones that stick with us in our mind. And our Western society has really cultivated a fear in women over childbirth. So in this video, we are going to be talking about how fear has a direct impact on the birthing body and why you don't want it. What if I told you that it is possible to have a painless birth? Would you think I'm crazy? Now, wait a minute. I was just talking about fear just a second ago, and now I'm talking about a painless childbirth. What do fear and pain have to do with each other when it comes to childbirth? So I'm going to create a little scenario for you, just really quick. Imagine you are taking a walk through your neighborhood and you notice your neighbor's fence is open, and all of a sudden you hear a dog growling and peek over the side, and it's about to come after you. Your body is going to respond with releasing a hormone called adrenaline, and it is going to cause a fight or flight response, and it's going to help you decide whether you want to fight off that dog or if you are going to take off running. And as you are making that decision, your body is probably tense. You're probably breaking out in a sweat. You probably have clenched fists. You might have a knot in your stomach. You are not relaxed. So bring that into the birthing space. If you are feeling anxious or fearful over what labor is going to be, maybe the intense contractions or the what ifs of labor, your body is going to respond with that same release of that hormone adrenaline as it did with that dog coming at you, that fight or flight response. Now, at the beginning stages of labor, when your body hasn't quite established that rhythm of contractions, your body is going to respond mostly in a flight response. It's going to try to fly away, run away from continuing labor. So let's say you have been laboring at home since the onset of your labor, of true labor. And you're comfortable, you've been able to take a bath, the lights are dim, but now you're feeling like it's time to go to the hospital. So you get in the car, you make your way to the hospital, you have to do all these intake questions, maybe you have a rough exam done, the lights are on really bright, and you're not feeling comfortable. You're feeling scared all of a sudden, you're feeling nervous about your environment, you're not safe. Your body is probably going to stop those contractions in their tracks, and your doctor is going to look at you and say, oh, your contractions aren't progressing anymore. And you're thinking, oh, that's weird, I just labored at home and my contractions were. It's because your body is choosing that flight response out of maybe feeling like you're in an unsafe environment, and it's trying to run away from that. So although during early labor, if you are feeling fear, anxiety, like you're not in a safe environment, your body is going to choose that flight response. As your labor progresses into that very active stage of labor where your contractions are very consistent, like feeling like they're almost back to back, your body is going to stay away from that flight response, and it's going to move into that fight response, okay? And this fight response is going to cause a ton of tension within your muscles that, instead of relaxing and expanding to allow your baby's body or head and body to emerge from from the vagina and the canal, it is going to tighten. And so as your baby's head is pushing up against that, those muscles aren't relaxing the way that they should to allow baby come out, but are just pushing against. So as these muscles are pushing up against baby's head, it's going to be causing a lot of tension, a lot of pain for you. And that's exactly what you are afraid of, right? You are afraid of the pain of the contractions. You are afraid of the pain of the baby coming out. You are afraid of that tearing that is possible and very common in birth. But it's becoming, this fear of this happening is causing that to happen. Remember, because our fear is creating that fight or flight response. So we're fighting, and it's causing that pain, and it's causing tension in our body. So it's this fear, tension, pain cycle that women are going through when they feel like they are not in a safe environment, when they're feeling like they can't trust their bodies, when they're feeling like the pain is not something that is like supposed to be happening, that something is wrong. And so that fear causes that tension in our muscles, in our body. Where there should be relaxation, where we should be working with the contractions, that fear causes that tension. That tension is causing the pain in our body because we are not allowing that baby to come out smoothly and easily, or more easily. And that pain comes back to the fear, where we're just afraid of all these things. And so it's this vicious cycle, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you are afraid of tearing, you are afraid of that pain, you are afraid of the intensity of the contractions, and that pain is causing that tension, that pain. So it's just this big cycle. So this fear, tension, pain cycle is rooted in the release of this hormone adrenaline. And they are like the two friends that you don't want to be around or have as you're walking down this dark birthing alley, okay? And we want to get you out of that gross, dark birthing alley, away from those terrible friends with fear, tension, pain cycle, and adrenaline. And we want to put you on the yellow brick road. And we want to give you these new friends, okay? So we are going to talk about oxytocin now, and endorphins, and this new cycle called the trust, relax, allow cycle, okay? So these new friends, oxytocin and endorphins, are your body's natural painkillers. Oxytocin is that love drug that is released during sex. It's released immediately after the birth as you are bonding with your new baby, and it is released every time you breastfeed. And endorphins are that happy drug that like you get when you exercise and you have that like high. So it's your body's natural painkillers that when adrenaline is present, it kills those painkillers. And so it's making it harder for your body to labor. Whereas if you are allowing oxytocin and endorphins to work, it's going to put you in this cycle of trust, relax, allow. All right. And that trust, relax, allow cycle is going to help you relax your body. It's going to let you work with those contractions so that as baby descends and is putting pressure and is making it a little uncomfortable, you take a deep breath, you trust your body, you relax those muscles, and you allow that baby to come out. And that is the yellow brick road you want to be on. Those are the friends that you want to have. Stay away from fear. Stay away from that fear, tension, pain cycle. Those are bad friends to have. And trust your body. Trust that those oxytocin hormones, those endorphins are going to do their job. And you are going to want to be on that trust, relax, allow cycle on the yellow brick road. So I hope you know that you are completely capable of having a birth that is totally fearless. And along with it being fearless, it's going to be painless, because fear equals pain. So fearlessness equals painlessness. It might be uncomfortable. It's going to be intense. It will be challenging. But guess what? Overcoming those challenges are going to make that birth experience so much rewarding. I can honestly say from experience that my birth was not painful. It was really intense. It was really challenging, but it wasn't painful. And I really believe it's because there was no fear that held power over me during my birthing process. So if you're wondering how to eliminate those fears regarding birth, make sure you watch this video, because I think it's going to help you just work through, process, and get rid of a lot of those fears that maybe are surrounding childbirth. So I hope that this video has helped you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, click the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I will see you next time. Bye, mamas.